and we are focusing on climate change, action, as well as shared future. I'm reporter Liu Jiaxin coming to you live in Xiamen, Fujian Province, where the third China-Pacific Island countries foreign ministers meeting will be held from May the 28th to 29th, chaired by a member of the Political Bureau of the CPC Central Committee, as well as Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Well, ahead of the meeting, journalists from China and Pacific nations have gathered across the vast blue Pacific, a region on the crossroads of diverse civilizations, as well as a region on the front line of climate change. So joining me now today are reporters from Fiji, the Solomon Islands, as well as Nauru. Why don't each of you give us a brief self-introduction to our audience?
Nisambula Vinaka and Ni Hao to the CGTN viewers. My name is Nikhil Ayush Kumar and I am a multimedia broadcast journalist from Fiji. I work for the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation, and it truly is an honor and a great opportunity to be part of this discussion ahead of the China-Pacific Islands Foreign Ministers meeting, which is to begin in a few hours. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Welcome, Nikki.
Thank you.
Well, what about
Hello,
Delhi?
I'm Delhi from Delhi, Sharon, also from the Solomon Islands. I'm so pleased to be here in China to attend the China International Press Communication Center hosted study tour. And I'm so honored to be given the opportunity alongside my Pacific Island journalists to come and cover this very important meeting of the Chinese Pacific Islands Foreign Affairs Ministers.
Well, glad
Thank
you
you.
like it. Glad you like this intense study trip. Well, what about you, Raymond?
My name is Raymond. Kabawi Romo Niao. My name is Raymond Terua. I'm from Nauru. I work for news television.
That's very cool. Yeah, because earlier you told me you were a cameraman.
Cameraman.
But this is the first time that you are standing on camera.
Yeah, I'm always behind the camera, and now I face the camera.
Great. Well, take it easy. As journalists, we all know that beneath the waves lie not only the shared survival challenges, but also untold stories of collaboration. So that's why today our discussion will charter through three dimensions, which are truthful climate storytelling, as well as multi-dimensional narratives on development, mutual development, and last but not least, we will look into our expectations towards the future collaboration. So let's start from the most urgent topic, which is climate change action. Well, I mean, with sea levels rising 5 millimeters annually, as well as coral bleaching, shifting from jargons to fishermen's daily concerns, I wonder, what does climate change mean for the Pacific in your reporting? Shall we start clockwise from Nikki?
Oh, sure. Well, climate change is an undeniable part in our reporting in the Pacific because it is part of our daily lives. It intersects and is intertwined with basically everything and anything. It's not a concern for just a particular group of people, but everyone, men, women, child, the elderly, and it intersects with education. It affects education, healthcare, security, and communities, and also it's an undeniable part of our daily lives because the Pacific Island people, we are the most vulnerable to climate change. Even though we have not contributed much to climate change, to the changing climate, but we are the most affected by it. So yes, it is part of our daily lives and also our daily reporting. We have to integrate it because that is how we actually tell the true narrative of the people on the ground. So yes, it's part and parcel of daily life.
And maybe Delhi, you can tell us more about how fragile Solomon Islands is to the climate change.
I think climate change is one of the biggest challenges facing the Pacific Islands. I come from a country made up of many small islands. And some of the islands are so tiny that the sea level is continuing to rise into the villages, causing a lot of damages to plants, gardens. And we have to do something. We have to urge our leaders to speak out that because it affects our very survival. And I think this is a crucial opportunity for our leaders to come together and discuss climate change because it really affects our lives.
That's also a very important topic among, in the upcoming foreign ministers meeting. Okay, what about you, Raymond?
For us, Pacific Island, the most important about climate change, because the sea level rising affect our island. As facing the Pacific Island, facing the climate change, the story needs to be heard.
Exactly. So actually China and Fiji are both climate change victims and also allies. You know, as far as I'm concerned, that in March 2024, China has donated 4,300 LED street lights, as well as 50 lampposts and 2,000 household solar power systems to Fiji. So tell us more about it, Nikki. How has this project been received locally?
So under the China-South-South cooperation, Fiji was fortunate enough to receive this assistance from China, and it is being well received by the communities because our Prime Minister was the one who commissioned this to the villages in Takondrove, which is in the northern part of Fiji, and also to other communities as well, not just to the north but elsewhere. And it's been received well because, and people have been told to actually be mindful and to take responsibility and use it for their benefit, and also to use it responsibly because these solar panels, these solar street lights are actually much needed and very practical in today's ever-changing world, especially in climate change, and because it can be used for every aspect to keep communities safe, to keep communities well lit, and also to assist during natural disasters, to actually assist search and rescue operations, and to also assist people if they need in terms of crisis or in terms of any disasters, so that people can access them much better. So yeah, it has been well received. And we are grateful to the Chinese government for actually giving us this opportunity and actually giving us these resources, because it is much needed. And sometimes the simple acts such as solar lights goes a long way, because it affects, or rather impacts, people's life, and it actually improves them as well. So yes, it has been well received.
Great. Well, it's been said by the Confucius that it's always a pleasure to welcome friends from afar. So I guess China is really glad to help, and there's more cooperation zone that we can find. So also, China's commitment is also unfolding in the Solomon Islands. Since March 2022, China has been providing medical assistance to the country. And by March this year, the 4th batch of Chinese medical teams has arrived on the islands. Well, Daddy, you know this better than us. Maybe let us know what hopes have the contributions of the Chinese medical teams brought to the local people.
Let me first of all state that medical cooperation is one of the significant cooperations under the Solomon Islands-China bilateral relations. And after we signed our bilateral relations in 2019, we have seen China step in to address a lot of the issues that we face in the country, especially critical issues that affect people's lives, and medical is one of them. Since 2022, in March, China started deploying medical teams to Solomon Islands. Around 10 medical officers sent them to be based at the National Referral Hospital. And during their one-year stay, they go out to the provinces providing medical services, critical medical services throughout our country. We are geographically scattered, and sometimes it is really hard for people to get to where the medical services are. So their dispatchment to the provinces has been very meaningful in addressing people's lives in terms of medical needs. And more to that medical service is the establishment of a comprehensive medical center in Honiara, which is funded by the Chinese government. The building was handed over to the Solomon Islands government this year and is due to be opened next month, June, after being fitted with all the state-of-the-art facilities, and it is to focus on non-communicable diseases, which are the leading killers in Solomon Islands. So that will really save us, people from traveling overseas. People have been traveling overseas to get treatment, but now we have those services available in our country, and it is something that we are grateful to the Chinese government for.
Wow, what a compelling story.
Yeah.
Now people in your country can stay in their home country to get treatment. Very cool. Well, you know, in Nauru, Nauruan government has been taking, you know, steps to address global climate change, including, as far as I am concerned, including relocating the local people to the higher elevations and building new smart villages. Well, additionally, am I right? Am I right, Raymond? Yeah, okay. Well, additionally, we are glad to hear that Chinese Junzhao technology has helped locally. So maybe tell us more about this Junzhao technology. How does it help local people to become more climate resilient in Nauru? Raymond?
So help people of Nauru, like relocate from the, because the climate change affect our island. They relocate Nauru people to top side.
Okay, so I believe this afternoon you have visited some like a hospital and learned something about this Junzhao technology, like maybe herbal technology that China has provided to Nauru. Maybe let us know more details if you have remembered any.
Anything about truthful technology?
Yeah.
It's not be used in Nauru, but they plan to invite the Nauru for the truthful technology tour in China and training in Fiji. Maybe they gonna go invite the Nauru for attend the truthful technology shop in China. Maybe next month. That's it.
Oh, okay. Good to know that. So maybe the two of you can share something about your trip, you know, in the hospital about this Junzhao technology. Anything that you have learned that have made some improvement to your local people?
Surely, the Junzhao technology is quite an innovative and smart, I would say, solution that is much needed because it has greatly, rather not affected, helped, assisted many communities across Fiji. I mean, one of the major aspects is that it has provided a means of sustenance for many people. It has enabled people to grow mushrooms and sell them so they can become entrepreneurs, they can farm their own food, and also this Junzhao technology is also used to assist in preventing soil erosion and erosion along the coastline, the riverbanks, because due to intense flooding, intense rain, our coastlines, our shorelines, and also our riverbanks are eroding. So this Junzhao technology is actually assisting in preventing more erosions and affecting more communities. And also it is a smart and innovative solution. We also found out that certain varieties of the Junzhao technology can be actually used to make a certain kind of construction material, which is still under research, but we do hope that maybe the Institute can actually further better it, and also the Pacific Islanders can take advantage of this because we are prone to natural disasters and we actually need much needed disaster resilient infrastructure and building materials. So yes, it's been amazing.
Wow, now you tell me. Great.
Yeah.
So Delhi, maybe any takeaway you have received from this China tour, China study tour that you have just embarked, maybe in Xiamen, Fujian Province? Would you like to share something with us?
There is so much, since coming here. In China in April, I've seen so much that I've learned a lot from. I first came here to China in 2004. It was a different China. And when I came back, I couldn't believe what I see. It was a great transformation. Yeah, the transformation is real. I've read about it after being in China in 2004. I know how the poverty level at the time, it was at an very, very high level that you can actually see on the streets. And when I came back, like it just disappeared, like it's a miracle. What happened? So that is something that I'm so astonished with. And after hearing lecture us on the modernization of China, I've learned a lot. And it's all due because of the Chinese democracy system that is based on Chinese characteristics. It has helped transform this nation. And the amazing transformation is all due because of that governance system. I think that is what we are lacking in my country. Yeah, it is a liberal democracy, and I think we need to learn a lot from China. Yeah, the transformation is just too much.
Quite impressive. Based on your seasoned experience, you are also a witness to Chinese development. And also Chinese modernization is never just about China. It's about, introducing and sharing all these technologies with our, with our partner countries.
What I'm amazed about is that China is trying to help other countries with its vision for a shared future for mankind. It is trying to help others to also feel the change, the transformation that it has achieved. So that is something that we embrace China for. Yeah, it is something that we need to learn from. And the Chinese have a good work ethics. Yeah, there are people who work. You don't see them sit around. You see them work. So for us, for me, that is something that I must learn from, and other Pacific Island states people. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Glad you are impressive about your tour here. And what about Raymond? Anything you would like to share with us?
So I want to talk about my trip in China, my first time in China. I've been in Mongolia last 2 weeks, but so many different, so in Mongolia, like a factory for the making of milk, factory for the tomato, factory for strawberry. But the most important thing when I came in China, my first time to see a Chinese, they're friendly, they communicate. Maybe I want to come back to China next time. Love China.
Because you are received warmly, and people, whenever they saw you, they see you, and they wave their hands to you, they say, "Hey, and let's take pictures together." I guess that brings you to China again.
And if I may add on to that as well, I have been here with a few of my colleagues since the end of February as well. So we have had the opportunity to visit Hainan, in Mongolia as well, and now in Fujian. So it really is amazing to see how much actually is happening in China, actually. And one thing why I believe me and my colleagues here, we resonate so much is because we come from the Pacific, and Pacific Islanders are known for embracing their families. That's a big part of who we are. That's a big part of our identity. And it's very much similar here in China as well. People value their family unit very much. They respect them, they embody them. So I think that is what makes this connection even more sincere and even more meaningful. So it truly is remarkable to see so much similarities as well. And yeah, it's really amazing.
Wow. So the similarities in culture and differences in some other parts brought us together, which lead us to the second part. So from your compelling stories, I've learned that sometimes, development is about vibrant data and mutual storytelling. So Fiji, the Solomon Islands, as well as Nauru are all co-authoring China's BRI chapters. And in this part, I would like to invite all of you to share the most compelling BRI stories that you've heard. So why don't we start from Nikki? Because we learned that Fiji hosts like multiple Fijian Chinese markets, Confucius institutes, as well as some infrastructure. Like, which story resonates most with you?
I think each story has its own compelling narrative that needs to be told. I mean, the China-Fiji markets, I think we have had amazing trade expos between the two nations. I believe last year, towards the end of last year, there was a lot of Chinese companies that came to Fiji for trade expos, and we got to learn so much about the variety and the advantages of so much Chinese technology and innovation that can actually help us as well. And that is not just limited to technology, but trade as well, which is an important part of, globalization in this modern era that we live in. Another part is also the China Railway Group. Actually, I live in Nauru in Fiji, which is close to the Namosi province and Serua province. So our hospital was actually made by this company under the China Railway Group. So it is one of the largest hospitals in Fiji. So that is, again, a great assistance as well, modern facilities. And also another aspect I would like to touch on is the Confucius Institute. I'm actually a product of that institute, because in my university, in the University of the South Pacific, I actually did Chinese language and culture in my first year of university. That was during the COVID-19 period. So I'm actually part, or rather a product of it. So yeah, a lot of achievements, I must say.
Well, show some Chinese you've learned.
Oh.
Apart from Ni Hao.
It's been, I think, a few years, so I might need to brush up a little bit more. But fun. I must say, I've learned a lot of Chinese calligraphy, and Chinese food is really good.
All right. That's no secret, actually. Yeah. Okay. So, Delhi, I've learned that, the China-aided National Stadium, which is only 10 minutes from the Honiara's airport, is kind of a witness to both countries' diplomatic ties. So have you visited that project, and what stood out, including other projects like China-aided infrastructure you've seen in your country?
To me, what stood out, because I go to work further than the stadium. I go past the stadium every day. And to me, it is a reminder of the ever-growing relationship between Solomon Islands and China. The stadium itself gives an impressive adornment to our landscape, to our city landscape. It is the first ever such impressive infrastructure to be built in Honiara. And we were proud to have hosted the best Pacific Games due to the assistance of China through the construction of the project. And China not only funded the project, there were some other significant projects that it is funding, like the comprehensive medical center, as I've already stated, which will be a great help to our people in terms of addressing medical needs, non-communicable diseases. And it is also funding the tar sealing of the road in the capital, Malaita Province. Malaita Province is, you may not know, is the most populous province in Solomon Islands. And there is not much infrastructure development, and people tend to go to Honiara to find jobs. And it is time that we have development in our province so that people can stay home, develop the province, instead of going further to the national capital. And for that, people are grateful to China for seeing it fit to fund this fundamental project. And it is ongoing at the moment. It's due to be completed sometimes this year. So, yeah, it is one of the significant projects under the Solomon Islands-China bilateral relations.
Well, your words certainly tell us that these projects go beyond construction, and they tied us closer now. Okay, so now I'm going to turn to Raymond, because I've learned that, you know, in southwestern Nauru, the Iwo port modernization projects has taken shape, and it is built by a Chinese company. But beyond that, Chinese firms have also been involved in some other projects, like in the photovoltaic power generation and energy storage system project. So among all these, you know, initiatives, like what improvement does these project bring to local communities, as far as you are concerned?
The upgrade of the Nauru port is the big difference to our community, to provide and export the food to the Pacific region. And the power generation, the system project, so it's good for our, like, they make like a solar panel make cost less for our people to community from Nauru, to connect the solar panel to the power generator, for make the cost less.
Oh, make the cost less. Have you visited the project by yourself? Since you are a cameraman and photographer, did you film these projects by yourself?
In the, what do you mean, in the solar panel or the port?
Both, or either one.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've seen them in your own eyes.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So yeah, I guess all your telling of the mutual development stories lead us to the third part, which is, you know, looking forward, which is looking beyond, like as the third China Pacific Island countries foreign ministers meeting approaching, what issues do you prioritize, and what pragmatic cooperation do you hope to see during this time? Shall we start maybe from Nikki?
I think the most pressing pragmatic cooperation that we wish to see, I believe my fellow panelists would also agree, is assistance regarding climate change and disaster risk management and mitigation, and also some sound cooperation, not just with climate change, but also in areas of health, in trade, and also in education as well. And circling back to climate change is, we have been to a few provinces here in China, and it is quite encouraging to see how green development and green energy, renewable energy it's not just a thing of discussion or a promise of the future, but it is actually being practiced here in China in every aspect of life, actually. So more cooperation in terms of renewable and sustainable energy between China and Pacific Island countries, I think that would be much needed, and would also help assist and also provide much relief to disaster-affected communities, because due to climate change, communities have to relocate, and it's quite a challenge. It's a big challenge, and it's costly. It's not something that can be done overnight, and a lot of factors have to be taken into consideration when communities have to be relocated. So yes, more cooperation in terms of renewable energy or green energy, because we have seen that China has been able to do it. It's not just making empty promises, but it is doing it, and it's integrating it well into everyday life, and everyone is actually up for it. So whether it be solar power, wind power, or integrating it into public transportation. So yes, I do hope for more cooperation for renewable energy, affordable energy, and also improved climate resilient infrastructure, so that when we are affected by climate change or natural disasters, we do not have to continuously build when we get affected. So yes, those are some pragmatic cooperations that I hope that can be discussed.
Great. Thank you, Nikki. And Delhi, do you agree with him? That,
I totally agree with him, and I just want to add on. I think I wish to see some concrete conclusions on infrastructure developments, because infrastructure, good infrastructures provide a conducive environment for development, for businesses to grow. So I think we in the Pacific need some economic growth in our countries in order to stand on our own 2 feet. Because sometimes when we rely so much on aid, sometimes it causes us to lose our sovereignty in some cases. So I think the best way forward is for China to work alongside our governments to ensure some constructive infrastructures agreements that would see the development of our economies grow into the future, so that we can proudly claim us to be sovereign nations. Because at the moment, we still rely on aid, and sometimes it's not easy to maintain our sovereignty when we rely too much on aid. And that is something that we would want China to step in to help us address. Yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah. So Nikki has said about renewable energy, and Delhi has added on some infrastructure cooperation. And what about Raymond? Anything that you look forward to cooperate between China and Nauru in the future?
I hope China and Nauru continue to cooperate for the future too.
Work on all aspects, right?
Like hospital.
Hospital, medical assistance, right?
Education.
Education.
I think the last one is the stadium.
The stadium?
Yeah.
Are you a sports person? Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so thank you all for providing insightful opinions to our discussion, and I truly learned from your talk that hard truths meet deeper understanding today, and you guys really made this Pacific newsroom now. So thank you all for contributing to our discussion across the vast blue Pacific, and thank you to our audience for watching on CGTN. Please feel free to subscribe to CGTN on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, Weibo, and WeChat. So I'm Jiaxin, coming to you live in Xiamen, Fujian Province, where the 3rd China-Pacific Island countries foreign ministers meeting is approaching. So please stay tuned, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you all.